we're looking at wars on two fronts in Ukraine, the Middle East, for him to think he needed a big hitter in the cabinet. I think that's enough of a story that he can sort of tell to the world about the importance of having a big beast in foreign policy. But I also think if you look at it now, and Sopes, you kind of made this point at the beginning, it feels a bit like a job share. I mean, you've now got two prime ministers round the cabinet table. And, you know, in America, you still refer to former presidents as president, right? There is a sense here that they must, on some unspoken level, now slightly be sharing that job at the very top of the tree.
We made the comparison yesterday with Peter Mandelson, him coming back into the government for Gordon Brown as Secretary of the Board of Trade initially, but really Deputy Prime Minister as well, to Gordon Brown to help him, and how he was then elevated to the Lords. And that is a good analogy. I think the sort of, in political terms, the more accurate one is when John Major brought in Michael Heseltine as Deputy Prime Minister, because John Major was this comparatively unknown, rather grey person in the way that he was seen politically, and not that exciting. Heseltine was certainly none of those things. He was exciting, he was charismatic, he was bold. And John Major decided he needed Michael Heseltine. I suppose the corollary of that, and Michael Heseltine is going around saying, this is a wonderful day. I've never been more delighted to see, David Cameron brought in. Well, look at what happened in 1997. But it didn't change anything of the kind of fundamental politics.
Yeah, he still wasn't actually Prime Minister, though. And I think the difference here, and we've talked about it before, is that Rishi Sunak has come by this post as appointment. He's never won an electoral vote to be Prime Minister. And Cameron, staring him in the face, is the embodiment of somebody who has managed to convince the British electorate that he should be Prime Minister. And I think it's great for now. I think it's, it sort of gives him heft, and it probably helps sort out, a lot of the overseas problems with a bit more of a character in place. But at some sense, that is staring you in the face, that he must feel like, well, maybe he earned the place of being Prime Minister more than Rishi Sunak.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.